This episode of the show is brought to you by Rover. Rover is an amazing service that links dog owners with dog sitters and walkers in their area. All you do is create a profile and you can start getting bookings right away. Just go to juniormoneymakers.com/rover and sign up today. Welcome back to the Junior Moneymakers podcast, the show that's all about helping you teach your kids how to become young entrepreneurs. Well, welcome back everyone. Today is a really important day. My family and I have been living in Europe for the last 14 years, and believe it or not, all 4 of my kids were born here. It's really been an amazing life for us here and for them so far, but 1 year from today, believe it or not, we're moving back to the United States. So we're really going to start counting down and chronicling our journey over the next year, and I'm really happy and excited to start sharing some of that with you. So there's a lot of things that we're looking forward to when we move back, but one of them is going to be visiting you. See, as soon as we get back to the United States, we're going to start visiting church groups, homeschool co-ops, and putting on events of our own. So I'm really excited to see what 2019 holds, but for now, it's time to shift our focus back to 2018. On today's episode, this is going to be all about people that like shopping, people who are into clothes and shoes, and really anyone who wants to put in the time to make a little extra money, kids and grown-ups alike. But before we start, I wanted to ask you, last week I put out an episode about a service called Rover, who's the sponsor of today's show. Did anybody happen to sign up for Rover last week? If you did, email me at mark@juniormoneymakers.com and tell me all about your experience. I'd love to hear about it. So with that being said, let's jump into today's episode. Okay, so today we're going to talk about a hustle that is nearly as old as I can remember. Buying and selling used clothing is a business idea that pretty much has always been around and always been pretty profitable. One thing to note is that the old model of selling clothing is pretty much dead. It used to be about taking the clothes that you had in your closet and then taking them to some trendy store downtown or listing them on eBay. There's a new host of websites dedicated to helping people make money selling their old clothes, and there's a huge market of people looking to buy. You don't have to be a fashion snob or a runway model to make this business a success. You just have to be willing to put in a little bit of time and make a little investment. So, now that we've got that out of the way, let's get started. All right, if we're going to sell clothing online, one of the first things we're going to need to do is get an inventory source. We can start by finding a high-end area around our neighborhood and hitting up the secondhand stores or even the yard sales. My favorite thing to do is go to the high-end yard sales because they often just want to get rid of their things. They usually have brand name items and they're willing to sell them at very low prices. Get a good idea of what type of clothing, shoes, and handbags are common in the thrift stores in your area, and remember that you usually want things that are less than 2 years old and near perfection. If you're going for vintage items, things from the 80s or the 70s for example, they can show some wear, but remember they shouldn't be stained or threadbare. Take a lot of photos when you go out on your first recon mission and write lots of notes. Then when you get home, you can compare what you found in the stores to what's selling online. There's a really cool site called threadup.com that has a payout estimator on it. So if you find a bunch of clothes from, say, the Children's Place, you can punch that in on Threadbare and it'll tell you what they typically buy those items for. Sites like ThreadUp and Tradesy.com are great because they simplify the process of selling old clothes. ThreadUp literally does all of the work for you. You don't even have to take any pictures of your stuff. Unfortunately, they keep a lot of the profits. You can expect to get somewhere around a third of what the item sold for at retail. So for example, a $27 shirt will get you $3 at most. That probably seems like a lot of money, and it is. Fortunately, there's a lot of other ways for you to sell as well. You can go on eBay, you can create a Shopify store, you can even sell in Facebook groups and sites like Craigslist with your parents' help. Some people even sell their clothing directly on Instagram. They just use the hashtag #ShopMyCloset. So if you go out to Instagram and type hashtag #ShopMyCloset, you're going to see all kinds of people that are selling their own used clothes. So here's a few ideas of how you can buy and where you can sell. Now I'm going to give you top 3 tips that you can use to get your business started. But first, we're going to hear from today's sponsor. One of the number one questions I get asked is, how do I start my kid's first business? One of the easiest ways is to use a service like Rover. Rover is a website that links dog owners with dog sitters and walkers in their area. Not only does Rover have an awesome rating service that lets owners know how people treat pets, but they also provide walkers and sitters with free liability insurance that covers everyone in case of any accidents. Dog walkers and sitters make way more money than you would think, but you don't have to take my word for it. Go to juniormoneymakers.com/rover and check it out for yourself. As a bonus, if you use my affiliate link and send me the link to your profile, I'll check it out and give you any feedback that can help you attract more customers. Just go to juniormoneymakers.com/rover. All right, let's talk about today's top 3 tips. All right, first, you're going to learn this later in life, but in real estate, the money is made in the buy. And in used clothing, it's exactly the same way. So when you go out, don't buy what looks cute, you want to buy what's going to sell. So do your research and get smart. Only buy things that you know are sure deals, and you can use that estimator that I talked about earlier in the episode. Know where you're going to sell and know what's going to give you the biggest returns. Spend some time on eBay. My kids do a really great job of looking up all the things Lego on eBay, and they can tell you with their eyes closed how much things are going to cost. So looking up used clothing on eBay and other sites is a great way to get familiar with what you should buy. Tip 2. Go for quantity, not quality at first. Hunting for that one big sell is going to be a huge risk, and it's going to eat up your initial investment. So you want to buy a few things that you're going to sell for a small amount of profit rather than one big thing that you're going to sell for a lot of profit. If it doesn't sell immediately or at all, you could be out a lot of money. So we want to start generating a regular income at a small pace. And that means we need to buy a lot of smaller items. Tip 3. You're going to need an upfront investment. This is a business that you can't start with no money. So my favorite way for you to get started is to simply save up your money. You can start by doing extra chores or smaller businesses like babysitting. Your best bet is to sell out your old clothes and shoes on all of these sites I've been talking about. If you're good at selling your own clothes and shoes, you just might have a talent for selling other people's clothes and shoes. And if you do that, you might not need any initial investment at all. The more money you have to start, the more potential profit you're going to make. So get out there and start working, and you can start your business in no time. So there you have it. That's 3 tips to get you started in the clothing consignment business. Now, I need you to tell me what I missed. If you've ever had success in this business in the past, email me your tips and I'll make sure to get them out to all of our listeners. All right, that's going to wrap up today's episode of the show. I am absolutely honored to have you listening. Thank you so much. And thanks for all the business plans that you sent me out this week. I'll be getting back to you soon if I haven't already. If you can do me a favor after the show is over, head to juniormoneymakers.com/review and drop me a review on iTunes. I would really appreciate it. It helps the show out a lot. So until Wednesday, when the next episode comes out, keep dreaming big and changing the world. My wife gets super upset when I steal her kitchen utensils, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. I'm out.